Hi guys, Horse Trailer Post here. So this particular feature we are discussing various roof types, and buyers, it's certainly something to be aware of, not only for a comfort for your horses, being able to haul those guys and not being baked in an oven, so to speak, with a lot of these insulated or mill finish aluminum roofs out there, and then also from a durability standpoint, just so that you are aware of the maintenance involved on various types of construction moving forward. So the first one that we're going to look at is a non-insulated hand-painted steel or galvanized roof with caulked seams. And I just did a search on horse trailers on Google. This is one on horsetrailertrader.com. And it's a steel trailer, could be galvanized skin, but nonetheless, it's basically steel uprights. The sheets are actually welded to the tubing uprights, and the roof is the same material as the sidewall. So this is non-aluminum. These are not aluminum. And the sheets on the top are not aluminum. They're either steel or galvanneal flat sheets that are wrapped around the curved roof bows on top of the trailer. This type of construction is fine. It's very safe from a horse perspective if you get in an accident, things of that nature, so no worries. What you have to be aware of is just down the road, there is a seam on top of the trailer, and generally that seam is caulked with some sort of auto body sealer, caulking, whatever that it might be. Even if the seam is welded, you can't really do much solid welding because the sheets are so thin. So you can end up with some pores there. So in order to seal that seam up, the caulking over time just tends to dry and deteriorate from the sunlight just constantly being baked on it. And there's generally a seam on most trailer manufacturers at about every 4 feet that goes from one side all the way across to the other side of the trailer. If you're unsure what type of roof you have, you can always grab a magnet and get on top of the trailer, and if the magnet sticks to it, then it's a steel sheet of some sort, steel or galvanized. Okay, so that's one type of roof. This would be the cheapest or the least expensive method of construction. So if you're looking for an all steel or an all galvanized type trailer where the sheets are welded on the outside there and hand painted, that's going to be the least expensive trailer when doing your shopping. Okay. The next one that we're going to look at is a non-insulated mill finish aluminum sheet single layer. This is probably what you're going to see in the majority of horse trailers out there, and this is, in my opinion, for what it's worth, the one that you should really be aware of, because mill finish, this is the shiny stuff right here. It's the natural looking color of aluminum. Aluminum is a wonderful conductor of heat. It's used to make pots and pans and solar panels and things of that nature. A lot of manufacturers still use aluminum across the top of the horse trailer with no seams in it, simply because it's very quick. So the benefit to you is it saves you money as a consumer. The downfall is if there's no insulation in it, it is very hot on your horses. So this is something fairly common that you'll see in a lot of horse trailers, and it does get hot, no way about it. So if you put your hand on the top of that trailer in the summertime, it's so hot you can't hold your hand to it. So this is a single sheet, no insulation, mill finish. Here's another example. You'll see this a lot. So no insulation on the sidewalls, no insulation in the ceiling, all the way around. A lot of horse trailers are manufactured in this manner, and a lot of consumers own trailers in this manner of construction, and a lot of horses are being hauled with a lot of sweat. So just something to be aware of on your horses there. That really needs to be insulated, but it's a cost saving. So if budget is an issue, there's lots of trailers non-insulated that will work. Now, another reason that manufacturers use this mill finish aluminum roof, it comes in a sheet. So in manufacturing, Here's the top of a horse trailer. I think this is a Merhow. Nothing against Merhow, because look, every manufacturer, Exus, Featherlight, you name the brand, if they use a mill finish aluminum roof, chances are they're manufactured in this manner. So, and many manufacturers, guys, recognize, they'll advertise solid seamless roof, and don't buy that garbage, okay? Seamless means there's not a seam from this end of the trailer to that end. So from here to here, there are no seams whatsoever. And you think, well, fantastic, there's no seams in it, so it can't ever leak, and there's nothing that I have to do. Wrong. You could clearly see around the perimeter right here, that's where the seam is. So where the flat mill finish aluminum meets the curved extrusion here, it has to be seamed, or a joint there, and that seam is either a self-leveling RV sealant, a type of caulking, a tape material, and over the years, as the sunlight bakes that material, if it's a petroleum-based product, it will eventually, fatigue and just probably need to be resealed. So if you're purchasing a new trailer, you'll get several years of use out of it. If it's a used trailer, you may just want to check those roof seams and see if it has to be resealed around that perimeter. Not a big deal, just something to be aware of. So the main thing is, it just, the mill finish aluminum is very hot on your horses if it doesn't have insulation. The next roofing type that we're going to look at is the same thing, non-insulated aluminum roof, but it's actually white, okay? Instead of being mill finish, it's a white color. And here is a prime example. So this is the butt side of a slant load horse trailer. Here's the curved portion of the roof. You can see the roof support is made out of aluminum, and this sheet is it's actually white on top and white on the bottom. Now the advantage is, of course, it's still aluminum, so it is a better conductor of heat than some other materials out there, but white does reflect more light than any other color does, and actually more heat. So the point being, if you park two trailers side by side, one has white on top. It doesn't really matter what the bottom color is, but if I had a photo of this, we could show you the top of the trailer being white. So if the top of the trailer is white and the trailer beside it is a mill finish aluminum, hold your hand to both of those. It'd be a significant difference in the heat transfer. So if you are going to purchase a trailer that is non-insulated, if possible to get one with white on top versus the mill finish aluminum, your horses will appreciate it much more. Here is another example of those white sheets versus the mill finish. And you say, well, why doesn't every manufacturer use that? Well, it costs more money. Mill finish is less expensive, so again, it's a cost savings for you guys. The white sheets just cost a little bit more. Okay, the next one that we are going to look at is the insulated aluminum roof. And this is a prime example of an insulated aluminum roof. You don't see any of the roof bows or anything like that. So it's a nice smooth finish. What this means is perhaps it has the mill finish sheet on top, but underneath it's insulated with another sheet on the bottom. So that insulation is a noise barrier as well as a heat barrier. Let's see if we can, there's another shot of an insulated roof. Okay, so yeah, these are the most expensive, having the insulated roof. Of course, this even shows insulated sidewall as well. So keep that in mind in your pricing. Insulated horse area, sidewalls, and roof is going to be more expensive, more than likely, than a non-insulated. The last roof type that we're going to look at, and it's actually first on the list, I just skipped it, but it's one-piece molded fiberglass roof without seams. So the seams being the key word on this. This roof type has seams. This one has seams to contend with over the years. This one will have seams, and this one will have seams. Regardless of the manufacturer, regardless of the construction type, they all have some sort of seam around the top of the trailer, at least that we are aware of here at Horse Trailer Post. The only one that does not have seams, which means your roof cannot leak, would be a one-piece molded fiberglass roof. Same, similar material as even a boat. And this is an example of a horse trailer with a fiberglass roof. This particular one has some roof bows molded directly into it. And if we could show a photo of this, it's fabricated inside of a mold. The manufacturer picks it up and sits the whole roof right on top of the frame there. So there's no way that it can leak because there are not any seams in this roof. It is white on top, so it has the heat reflective color, and of course fiberglass doesn't transfer heat nearly as well as what aluminum does. It doesn't conduct it quite as well, which makes it cooler on horses when traveling in direct sunlight. Okay, so those are your roofing types from a maintenance perspective. Anything with seams has to be maintained. You probably won't have at least the leaking issues with the fiberglass, but you could have issues 8 to 10 years down the road with the gel coat having to be redone. I think that's a fairly inexpensive process. And then as far as heat conductivity, the mill finish is going to transfer the most heat. So look for something that's white on the top or insulated as far as being the coolest on your horses. Hope this helps. Thanks, guys.